So as I mentioned, high school schedules, this is just kind of a template of what they look like. Students are enrolled in 8 full periods every day, and they are in 4 classes, 8 classes every year and 4 classes a day. And we do have A-day classes and B-day classes.
Over there by the recycling for now.
I did.
Over there by the
Sorry. So on an A-day, a student may have 4 completely different classes. They may have their math class, their social studies class, their health, their PE, and then on B-day, they'll have their other 4 classes. And it's just always a rotating pattern. If you can see on this chart, Friday ends on an A-day, then the next Monday is going to be a B-day. It's just always alternating every single day throughout the year. So since there are only 4 classes each day, each class is an hour and a half long. So students are in there quite a bit, but they have plenty of time to do all the work and shouldn't be taking home a lot of homework. So as I mentioned earlier, these are the courses that are required for graduation. They are required to have 1 year of fine art, 1 year of PE. Now, if you have an athlete in the home, that student is obviously probably going to want to participate every year in high school, which is fine. 1 year is required for graduation. So after 9th grade, they will receive that PE required credit. The years after that they continue participating count as elective credits. They are required to have 2 world languages. It has to be the same world language. 1 year of technology, half a credit of speech and half a credit of health. So we do have, and then the additional 4 elective credits. These are some options for fine art, okay? A student can take art, they can take theater. If your student is in band right now, that is definitely something if they want to continue taking band throughout high school, if they want to take choir, dance team and training, drill team, color guard, orchestra, 3D modeling and animation is a unique course. It gives students the fine art requirement, but it also waives the technology credit. So it kind of gives kills 2 birds with 1 stone. We have music theory and floral design that can be taken in 10th grade. Dance also kills 2 birds with 1 stone. You get the fine art credit, but you also get the PE credit for dance or drill team for that matter. So those are good classes to take if you want to try to get some credits out of the way in 9th grade. So in most high schools, band is double blocked. As you remember, I showed you the screen with the schedule for band where you have for high school classes where you have 4 classes every single day. Band is one of those that is double blocked, which means you take it every single day. So if you have band 2nd period, you attend that on A days and B days. So you're in there quite a bit and you do earn the 2 credits for it. Students audition in the spring for drill team, for intermediate theater and band, choir, and orchestra placements. And after auditions, the placements are sent to the counselors and we update those course requests for the students. These are the different programs we have for PE or that count as PE credit. Of course, PE class, athletics, and athletics, we have a variety of sports that you'll see here in a minute. But athletics, the students have to try out to be on the team. If your student is typically not a swimmer, but they think they can just join swimming class to try to learn how to swim, this is not the class for them, okay? So it is competitive. They have to make the team. If they do not make the team, then they are placed in a PE class and in an available elective that could be open. So keep that in mind when signing up for athletics. Color guard it's the girls with the flags part of the band. They can also receive a PE credit through there. Dance class, drill team, as I said, as well. Band, in marching season, they receive the PE credit. So they only receive that PE, half a credit for the fall only. So if they obviously have to be in band at least 2 years to be able to earn the full year of PE. If they make the cheer team, they also receive PE, athletic trainer, partners PE, outdoor education, and then this new course we have the NNDCC, and I'll discuss that here in a second. Which is right here. This is going to be a new class that is offered at Lebanon Trail High School, the Navy National Defense Cadet Corps. Similar if you're familiar with like ROTC, this is going to be a brand new program. So if you're interested at all, you're asked to contact James Ayers down here. But it is a class that is offered only at Lebanon Trail High School. So these are the different sports that we offer in the high schools, okay? Of course, we have football, basketball, swimming, diving, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, baseball, and softball, and wrestling. Again, everything is double blocked for these courses. Boys athletics is 4th period every day. Girls athletics is 1st period every day. And this does take up 2 spots on a student's schedule. But if you know that you want to participate in athletics all 4 years, know that there's students will only be earning 7 credits every year as opposed to the 8 for a student who's a student that's not an athlete. But these are the different sports. They're competitive again. So if your student likes to play basketball on the driveway, but they've never competed, this may be a tough class to get into, okay? So all students are free to sign up for athletic tryouts, okay, for the athletic class, but they must make the team in order to stay in it. And as I just mentioned, it's competitive. They require you to already know how to play, and cuts are made usually the first 2 weeks of each semester. Those who are cut can try out for a different sport or move to a PE class or move into another open elective class. So technology. Students are required to have 1 full year of technology. The options are BIM, and here is where students learn a little bit of the Microsoft package, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, digital media. It's more your Photoshop type of class. 3D modeling and animation, it's just what it sounds like, it's animation. This is the course that I tell you also counts as a fine art credit, and it waives this technology credit. There's computer science, which is more programming, and pre-AP computer science, obviously the advanced level of that. Computer maintenance is more hardware, figuring out how it all works. Then we have TV broadcast, journalism, photojournalism, and architecture and construction. So we have several options for students if they're interested in trying to get one of these classes out of the way in 9th grade. If you have a student who eventually wants to participate like in yearbook, for instance, they have to take photojournalism first. So that would be a really good course for them to try to get out of the way in 9th grade in order for them to apply to be in yearbook. Health and speech. As I mentioned before, health is offered in 8th grade, so some of your students may be currently taking health already. Speech is a semester class as well, and those both are required to graduate. Now, if your student wants to go down the health science path and they know that they are going to take health science in 10th grade, again, as I mentioned before, medical terminology is the prerequisite for health science. Health science, though, does award the students the health credit. So if your student is signing up to take health in 9th grade but wants to take health science, it's going to be a double dipping kind of class, and you don't want to do that. So if you know you're doing health science, then don't sign up for health, okay? Other courses that satisfy the speech requirement are obviously professional communications. That is just your basic speech class. We have debate, we have advanced public speaking, and AP seminar. At Memorial, we also have a course called AVID. It's an elective class, but it also fulfills the speech requirement for students. As I mentioned, world language, 2 years. We offer Spanish, French, and Chinese. Chinese is an online course, so it is difficult. So whether you're a face-to-face student or a virtual student, it is an online course, and it's not one of the easier courses we have. I want to say in one of the last slides, though, you'll be able to see what languages are offered at the different schools, but Lone Star, do you guys offer ASL?
Yes, ma'am, as of right now.
Okay. Okay, so that could definitely change because ASL teachers are hard to come by. So, but Memorial does not offer ASL. These are the only classes, world languages that we do offer. If you are currently taking Spanish 1 this year in middle school, we'd highly encourage you to sign up for Spanish 2 or Spanish 2 Advanced next year. You don't want to skip a year and forget that language. So it's best if you sign up and go ahead and get those 2 years over with by your 9th grade year. So on this next slide, and as I mentioned earlier, you will be receiving this presentation Ms. Hudspeth is going to be sharing with you. This will give you more specifics regarding Lone Star and Memorial when you click on those, these different links, and that way you'll be able to know specifics. For instance, one example is track. Track for us is not a class, so students participate only before school or after school, but cross country is first period. So that's one example of possible differences for us. Lone Star, do you guys have a track class or cross country?
Our track class is for the girls only. If the boys want to participate, they have to participate outside of the school day.
Okay. Okay, so perfect. So once you click on these individual campus links, you'll see some of those differences for each campus, okay? So, but for the most part, everyone has pretty much the same programs, the same athletic programs, the same classes overall that are offered on every campus. So I know that Ms. Hudspeth is going to be talking about the 4-year plans with students. Going to be showing them the information and walk them through it. As I mentioned earlier, the 4-year plans are truly just a map of high school. It is something that is not set in stone. It is just something that will help you plan out all the courses you wish to take, you know, that your student wishes to take. So if they know that they want to take, for instance, all the engineering classes, but they're also in band or they're in athletics, are they going to have space throughout all of high school to be able to take all the classes they wish to take? With some of those courses that are offered, like at the Kate Center, for instance, that are your advanced courses, they require applications. Sometimes we do ask students to start working backwards. So if you know that you eventually want to take forensic science, that's always a favorite one with students. Forensic science has a lot of prerequisites, and if you do not start taking those prerequisites in 9th grade, then it's hard for you to ever get to forensic science. So you kind of have to work backwards for certain classes such as those, okay? I'm sorry about all the breakups, and I even got kicked out of my own meeting, which is kind of embarrassing. But I don't even know if there have been some questions coming up in the chat box, which it looks like there have been. Are there any questions that haven't been answered that you would still like to ask? You know, feel free to unmute and ask a question and we can help you out.
So for clarification for the band, 1 year, even though they're getting a half a credit for PE, they still get a full year of fine arts on top of that half a credit for PE?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Hey, the computer science PAP courses, right, is offered. Is this a language of choice, or you have, like, there are mobile programming as well as language, right? So is there any specifics on that, or?
I honestly do not know the specifics. That course catalog will definitely tell you. All I know is it is programming. I don't know all the language for computer stuff because I'm not a computer person myself. But if you do look on the course catalog, it'll definitely give you a good description of what that course entails.
Okay, so I mean, in other words, right, the language choices are already predefined, right? Which language that is taught in the school or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if a student comes short of the credits before, their senior year, are summer courses available?
Yes, so what we, in the past, and I know this is such a weird year, we don't even know what summer school is gonna look like. I'm assuming it will be the same as it has been. Even at the end of 8th grade, if students know that they're going to be participating in several courses that are gonna require a lot of, slots on their 4-year plan, they can try to get like health and speech taken care of in summer school. Medical terminology is offered in summer school, like for the students who wanna take health science. However, health science cannot be taken till 10th grade, but at least you're completing something outside of school. Also, BIM, the technology course that is like a Microsoft package. That one is also in the past has been offered for advanced. Chris, I know you've worked summer school. Am I forgetting anything? PE maybe?
They do have online PE now that is available during summer. That summer catalog kind of changes from year to year, so it's kind of hard to say definitely what will and what won't be available. Usually it's about right around spring break time when it comes out, when it's got an updated list of everything that they're planning on offering.
Yeah. Thank you. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So are there more courses available in the summer as they progress through high school? So
typically summer school courses will be just remedial for the most part. And so these are the only ones that have typically been the ones where a student can take for advancement. So, yeah.
Good morning. When will the initial 4-year plan be due from the students?
Ms. Hudspeth?
Yes, ma'am. So I sent an email on Monday talking about a lot of this, and we are hoping to have everyone have it completed in Home Access Center by the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Any other questions?
How do the kids who participate in the GT program, is that considered the English class for all 4 years?
It's the humanities courses that we offer. So in 9th grade, they take GT Humanities, and that is, they earn the, well, I have to get out of the mindset of calling them pre-AP classes. Next year, it'll be English 1 Advanced. And then in 10th grade, it's the AP World History component. And then in 11th grade, they have the AP English Language and AP US History as the GT courses. And that's all that we have right now for the GT program.
So is that would be considered their English and their social studies then?
Yeah, English in 9th grade, and then social studies in 10th grade. And then in 11th grade, it's both English and social studies.
Hello. What is the procedure for changing a course in between once you took something and thought of changing it?
You mean as far as just writing it down on the 4-year plan?
Yes.
Okay, so for 9th grade, really, I mean, yes, it's good, like I said, to map out your all 4 years. But in 9th grade, we're really wanting to focus, like, is your student signed up for the classes they wish? In the springtime, we will then send another email, or Ms. Hudspeth will, that will show, hey, these are all the courses that your student is signed up to take in 9th grade. If you want to change something, you have until April 16th to do so. So April 16th is the district deadline to make any changes, like to electives or to anything. And I know it's super, super early, and it sounds, you know, even overwhelming, but like the principals have to factor in how many students signed up to take, you know, a fashion design, or how many students signed up to take that. That determines how many sections are offered, or if new teachers need to be hired, those types of things. So they will have until April 16th for 9th grade courses. Now, this time every single year, once they're in high school, we start talking to them about the following year, and then they have opportunities to make changes to that year again. So for 10th grade, for 11th grade. So every single year, they'll be able to make adjustments to those classes.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
So I have an 8th grader. She's currently in GT and she's interested in the IB program. And I don't know if you guys offer an engineering track. She says she wants to do biomedical engineering. So can she do all 3 of these simultaneously? And do you guys offer an engineering track at Memorial?
So all the engineering classes are offered at the Kate Center.
Okay.
So it starts with the very first one, like the Intro to Engineering Design. Those are all at the Kate Center. Now the IB program, though, I can't speak to that because that program is offered only at Frisco High School. I know they've had some informational nights, so definitely that question is good for them, because if your student was to get into the IB program, then how is that factored in with engineering classes? I do not know what that would look like. So I'm sorry that I can't answer that.
And what about let's say if she doesn't get in or she decides she doesn't want to go that route, she can still do the humanities GT track along with the engineering classes at the K Center, right?
Yeah, so that's definitely something when you're looking at the 4-year plan, map that out for all 4 years and see if it looks feasible for her along with everything else she wants to do.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I had an additional question about the dual credit program. I'm trying to follow all the comments that people have already asked, but I'm still a little bit confused. If they choose to do that, does that class at the college count as the high school credit? Like, for example, if on like the U and T program, if they have English, does that count as the English credit for high school?
Yes, anything that they do that's dual credit counts as the high school and the college credit at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? We have a lot of good questions. I know it's overwhelming and scary.
I have a question. So
Yes.
how do the AP courses factor in the 4-year plan? Because as I understand, these are like a la carte courses. I think there are 30 of them. So how do they factor in that 4-year plan?
Well, the majority of our AP classes are core classes. So if your student is interested in AP classes, the only one they can take in 9th grade is AP Human Geography, and that is the social studies part of the class. So they can either take the on-level World Geography or the AP Human Geography. And then in 10th grade, it opens up a little bit more for them. You can take AP World History. You can probably take like AP Psychology. It starts opening up the longer they are in high school, but they are the core classes really, essentially. We do not offer a lot of AP elective courses. So they are their core classes, if that makes sense.
Does the AP and English one are same or different?
The AP classes are college, they're rigorous. So they're definitely college level courses and they will be more rigorous.
Okay, so my question is like my son is taking pre-AP English right now. So is he eligible for AP English next year in 9th grade or no?
So in 9th grade, we don't have an AP English. It is going to just be the Advanced English 1, or previously known as Pre-AP English 1. But those programs, those classes are open to anyone. The only stipulation with the AP or the Advanced, AKA Pre-AP classes, students must remain in those for the first 6 weeks of school. And if that sometimes is a little difficult for them, because I know pre-AP classes in middle school are very different than they are in high school. So sometimes they load up with all these classes and they get in and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do this. But we have to keep them in there for 6 weeks, attend tutorials, encourage all of these other possibilities. At that time, if a student needs to drop to an on-level class, they can. Otherwise, they do have to stay until at least the semester. So That's the only stipulation with those more advanced rigorous courses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
So for a grade, you can take only 10 courses, right? More than that, if you want to do, that should be coming from a summer school or an online program, if you want to do.
In high school, you can only take 8. Yeah.
Okay.
8 credits, yeah. Any other questions?
Hi, good morning. I have one question. Are there, like, if your student knows what they want to do eventually, like you were talking about forensics, is there like a guide that tells you what classes they need to take starting next year all the way to their last year?
Yes, so if you go to the, just to the Frisco ISD page and you just do the academic and course catalog, if you just search for that, that's a really big guide that will give you all the information. Kind of in the center of it, you'll see the actual track, like at Kate Center. It will tell you all the recommended courses to take in 9th grade, 10th grade. I mean, it'll walk you through it all the way to 12th grade.
Okay, so it'll have like pre-engineering, pre-med, pre-law, all that stuff, and then it'll tell you what courses to take.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Campos, someone asked in the chat, how do we do the high school course plan? It might be easier for you to touch on that than type it out.
How to do the what? I'm sorry.
The question says, how do we do the high school course plan?
The high school course plan, is that, you mean the 4-year plan? I think Ms. Hudspeth is going to be sending out a video, right, Ms. Hudspeth? An email, that's a video, just a step-by-step on how to do that. The students will do it through their hack. It's really very easy to do. You just click on each grade level and you're just basically clicking on courses to add. And then it's all set. I think by the time students actually get started, it takes them maybe 15, 20 minutes to do. It's not very hard to do.
Yes, in the newsletter that I sent, I did link the 4-year plan planning document. And then today or tomorrow, I will link I'm doing a little bit of steps at a time. It's very overwhelming at one time. But as I add more to the newsletter for you guys, I will send an email as well. But it's all going to be in that same newsletter you can refer back to.
Hi, do you guys have dual credit courses like for juniors and seniors that are given at a local community college?
Yes, we do. We have those. We're partnered with Collin College. And so there are several courses that students can choose from. Primarily, I think for the most part, our students usually sign up for their core classes, their English or their social studies classes. But we're partnered with Collin College, and so they do take those classes either there, and some of them we offer on our campus as well sometimes, depending on how many students sign up for those courses.
Okay, and you have to be a junior or above?
You can take some starting your 10th grade year, but it's really more like your psychology or sociology, just some basic elective classes. And so something else you have to be just, wary of is eventually, and I know this is thinking even beyond high school, where your student wants to go to college, are those college credits going to transfer? Will they count for anything? So sometimes I always encourage students to kind of wait to take some of those courses like their core classes as opposed to just any random dual credit class, because they may not even count towards anything once they get to college, if that makes sense.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. We're new to Texas, so this is all new learning for us.
Yeah.
I have one more question regarding like the difference between what you have at this high school and then the IB program.
Mm-hmm.
I know maybe you can't talk a lot about the IB program, but like what is the major difference, and are there any advantages, disadvantages? We're just trying to decide. Thank you.
Yeah, as far as programs, like Frisco High School is going to have the exact same programs that any of the other high school does. It's just you're going to be placed on this IB track, you know, to take certain classes. But they're going to have, they still have athletics, they still have band. So your student will still get to participate in all the other activities that a high schooler would, but just taking different courses and going down a different path.
I have one more question. So right now, I think we are zoned to Memorial, but there are rezoning plans, right?
Okay.
I think the Board of Trustees has started working on that right now, and that will be announced, I think, mid-December or something. So how, like, if we are rezoned for whatever reason to some other high school, how does the information that you provide today kind of universal, you know, like in terms of the core, because they will start working on the 4-year plan as if they are zoned to Memorial, but that decision comes in mid-December. So, I mean, we don't know, right?
Right. So it's just, since it is done in your student's hack, you know, program, it's, your student has that same ID number, same hack program, no matter which high school, if your student ended up getting zoned to another place, that information is saved in their system already and in our system.
Okay, so that means that if he signs up for some courses, there's a chance that those courses are offered at another campus as well.
Correct, correct.
Okay. The same is with electives. The electives, it's all the same?
Yes, because electives are a little different, you know, from campus to campus as well. We're still so fairly new, even though this is just our 3rd year, so we still don't even offer all the electives that many of the other high schools offer. So yeah.
I see. And the same is for AP classes, because I understand there are some differences there as well between the campuses.
Yeah, the AP classes, for the most part, all the core classes will be the same. There may be some other elective classes, for instance, AP European History. We have always wanted to offer that class, and we don't have enough interest, so we don't have that class offered yet. But that one may be offered at another campus. So yeah, it just depends on the course itself.
Okay, okay. But that could be changed and modified, right? Because you said that they can still tweak their plans before each year. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Excuse me, I have one more question on the science path. The biology is must in the 9th grade, right?
That's what we usually recommend our 9th graders to start with biology, because there is an end of course or STAR exam attached to it. And that way they can go ahead and test and be done with that class as well. And biology typically is a prerequisite for some of the other science courses that go. So we do recommend 9th grade for biology.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Ms. Hudspeth, anything else?
I don't think so. I was looking at the chat. There was a question about district transfers, and it looks like Ms. Lors just posted a link in the chat. That's something that's done at the district level. High schools, individual high schools or individual middle schools do not make those decisions regarding transfers.
Okay.
There's also another question that says, if we pass the Indian classical music exams, do we get high school credit?
I do not know. I do know these, we don't accept a lot of outside credits. We have some students who do sometimes enrichment programs like at UNT and take like pre-calculus or something, and we unfortunately don't accept those credits because we do want the students to take those with us here. Any other questions? Let me see.
Yeah.
I see, are all advanced courses available across district? Or yes, the advanced courses are available pretty much everywhere, definitely. And then the school hours are 9 to 4:25. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Okay. Anything else?
One question was specific electives for Memorial versus Lone Star. Other on the newsletter that I sent, there's a link to specific Memorial and Lone Star, and you can click into there, and there's some specific information on those. I don't know if either one of the schools have just information right now, but the major electives, most of them are, you know, going to the CTE Center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most electives, I mean, they're available for students to select. It's just all if there's the amount of students that are interested and, you know, enough for a class to make. That's where it becomes a little tricky. So we all pretty much offer the same electives. But if we don't have enough interest in one or Lone Star doesn't, then that class obviously doesn't make, because that teacher will then have to teach something else. So hopefully that helps.
And thank you, Ms. Lors, for answering in the chat. I'm trying to keep up as well. Anyone else?
Questions? So I see something about a language exam in lieu of taking a language credit. So I know that there are certain windows, Ms. Hudspeth, there's one in the springtime, right, that they can still take in 8th grade. So if you just visit with Ms. Hudspeth, she can sign your student up for that class, because you can take it as early as the spring of this 8th grade year.
Yeah, please send me an email. We can get that set up for sure.
The catalog is on the website. If you go to the Frisco ISD website, that's where you will find the academic and course catalog. And you will see all of the courses available in Frisco. Any other questions? Don't worry about all the questions. I know it's overwhelming, especially if this is your first student to go to high school. It's an overwhelming process, and so don't be sorry for asking questions. That's what we're here for.
Could you share the questions that are being asked in the chat?
I can definitely try to figure that out. I know I'm recording it, but I will figure out before I close out how they can all be shared. I don't know. I'm not too big on Zoom yet, but I will try to figure it out.
Alma, at the bottom, there should be an icon that says in the bottom of the chat to everyone, and then over to the right, you should have something where you can save a chat transcript.
Okay, thank you.
Only the host can do that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I will definitely try to do that.
I know, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, how do I do it?
All right. Let me see.
I have a question, like, is there anything we need to know about IB program compared to the, you know, what are the electives you're talking about?
I can't speak to the IB program. Frisco High is the only school that offers those courses. So I know that they will definitely have some informational nights for you to attend. So I would just go to their website, to Frisco High School's website, and see when they have some of those that are coming up.
It's like, it's more.
And we've been including those in the Trent s'more as well. So, but if you search, you know, IB on the district website, there's information there. And then Miss Gates is the contact over there at Frisco High if you have specific information to ask.
Okay.
I do have one question, and I do have a child currently at Memorial, but he was trying to take Spanish too, but because of the COVID pandemic, and the classes being reassigned, he was on level because there were not enough kids at Memorial taking that course. My question is, can he change halfway through, like in the second semester, and go to advanced, or does he just have to take it in the third year?
I mean, he can take it at semester. It may be a little difficult, so I would maybe start talking to that teacher now, but he can move up. Maybe, you know, just because it is advanced, they may be a little bit behind on some areas, especially if it's a language. But I would definitely start talking to that teacher now and see what their take is on it. It's something that you couldn't take in your third year, not the same year, not the same level, because students can only earn 1 credit in a class. So if, you know, he would have to move on to the next level at that point, but definitely start talking to the teacher now about that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
He's taking
Spanish
and electives now. Those are electives.
Okay.
There's a couple of questions about weight and GPA, but it looks like we've got some of that linked in the chat.
Perfect.
You're going to Aeronautics, right?
Thank you. Taking extra language credits, anything that you do above and beyond the required credits count as elective credits. So does it look good if you take 3 or 4 years of a language? Absolutely. I mean, it does. Will it, you know, help anything other than giving elective credits? I mean, that's really all it will do. Some colleges may want to see that your student excelled in 4 years of a language or 5 years or whatever, but that's pretty much all, you know, that it will do. Yes, for now I would definitely go to the 2020-2021 catalog. Pretty much all those courses are the same, and then December 1, the new one should be up for viewing as well. But primarily the classes will be the same.
Any other questions? Thank you to our high school counselors for joining us and presenting today. This has been amazing. Please holler at me in the newsletter that I sent. I also linked a place where y'all can ask as many questions, and I will do what I can to find the answers for you guys.
Thank you so much for coming this morning. And as Ms. Hudspeth said, she's available as well for questions. There will be some webinars next week as well that the district is doing for this same type of information. And I'm sure Ms. Hudspeth will be sending that information out as well. So if you still have some lingering questions, those would be some good places for you to go as well to listen to that additional information.